Yeah, so I know a little bit about that. Seems to be a lot of people in Chicago.
You live in Chicago?
I live in Detroit, but I
And
know there
Detroit.
seems to be a lot of
Mm.
Twitch activity in Chicago.
Big activity around digital music in Amsterdam. There are a lot of sessions, music.
Um, my girlfriend who's been out of town, um, KansasFest this year, but I'm bringing some of her friends.
Yeah.
She made these a while ago. Like she did a project where she modified Oregon Trail,
Oh, ouais,
and
nice.
she has some. Um,
It's a print or what is a print? A gravure?
it's a screen print.
Screen?
Screen print, you know, like
Screen print.
you etch the screen and squeegee the ink.
Okay, yes, yes, ink with ink, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So there's a couple. Some of them are actually pushing the Oregon Trail as is, and other ones she modified it to replace all of the text in the game with lead speak.
Lead speak, yeah, yes, lead speaker. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Daniel.
Daniel, okay. Daniel. And you use Linux there.
Yeah.
What Unix? What Linux distribution? Is that one or?
It's called Crux.
Crux.
CRUX.nu.
Oh, ouais.
I like it.
I only know Ubuntu, you know. Ubuntu. Yeah, Debian now. In the past, it was Mondrake. Mondrake, it was a French distribution, French Linux. Very good, but disappear.
This one is like I just supply the base packages and make you so they don't you have to do a lot of stuff at home,
Yeah.
but on the other hand they don't know how to do it. So you
Yeah.
create a web program. So many features that they support that I don't know, I haven't used them all. For some reason I just don't like those. I loaded Debian and I you know something file programs.
Hello.
Yes,
Somebody's gonna want them.
Tiens, je vais te faire visiter un peu les chambres à KansasFest. It is the room of the music and visual artist is Daniel. Okay, I put it here.
Hello.
He's a journalist. He's Annick Wow. Okay, you see her? Tu nous vois là?
J'entends rien ce que tu dis.
Bon, est-ce que tu nous vois là?
Faut que tu parles plus près du micro.
Ouais, c'est vrai qu'il faut qu'on parle un peu plus près du micro. Alors, je te montre d'abord le couloir. I go into this. Voilà, ça c'est le couloir. Voilà, il y a toutes les pièces. Et il y a Annick Rivoire là. Olivier au fond. Et souvent les chambres. open. Yeah. And I think
I'm sorry, what?
no, I showed to my friend the dorm, yeah, the dorm, and all the rooms.
Oh,
Yeah. Alors les autres sont pas encore arrivés. I mean, maybe you know Antoine Vigneault.
yeah.
Yes. Maybe join us.
We might be there.
Maybe. Là, tu nous entends un petit peu quand même maintenant là.
Ouais.
Quand ça, dans 2 ans, tu vas arriver. Je sais pas, mais je te dis que ça t'aimerait bien faire un jardin. Ouais, ça serait pas mal ça.
Tout bien, c'est que comme
Ouais.
I know the numbers.
Mais tu parles anglais. Moi, je vais continuer à me balader. I'll continue to.
Okay.
Bon, je continue à me balader. Hein. Alors, je sais pas où c'est qu'on va aller là maintenant.
moi, je vais à la prochaine session.
Ah, tu vas à la session. Moi, je vais aller dans le salon, je pense. Hein. Ah oui, d'imprimer son ordinateur. C'est cool.
Tu es en Wi-Fi?
Oui, là, mais le Wi-Fi semble quand même meilleur à partir des. Ça, comme ça, tu découvres complètement l'environnement. Alors là, je suis logé au 3e étage. Voilà, là, je reviens à la pièce de parole. Ah, dear. France. Yeah, it's right. They're here. But I think the best place is here. Because and you see that under the basement, they took our room to make to serve. Bon, bah là, j'ai retrouvé Dean. Bon, on va se mettre par là, on va être vachement plus tranquille. Wow.
Sorry, I forgot about that entirely.
Ok. Bon, comment va alors, Nick?
Bah, c'est à toi qu'il faut demander ça. Comment c'était alors la présentation de Dialector en direct du Kansas Festival ce matin?
C'était vachement sympa. Bon, j'ai un petit peu présenté en à peu près un quart d'heure. On rentre. Et puis après, il y a une fille qui s'est portée volontaire pour dialoguer. Et on a eu un super dialogue parce que les Américains, évidemment, ils vachement bien les tournures des skis, du programme. Ça se fait pas mal.
J'entends un mot sur 3.
Ah bon? Pourquoi?
Ouais.
Est-ce que les mots ils sont brouillés du style ils font ou alors c'est vraiment
Ça fait comme ça. Donc j'entends le début, puis après brrr, ça baisse.
Ah ouais, bah ça c'est.
J'entends rien ce que tu dis.
Ah, par contre, moi je t'entends parfaitement, c'est ça qui est bizarre.
Très bien.
Moi, je t'entends super bien. Je n'ai aucun problème à t'entendre.
Bon, alors vas-y, continue, c'est pas grave. Ça peut-être le son sur YouTube marche mieux, je sais pas. Comme moi, je suis en
C'est un problème de micro quelque part. Bah, c'est pas facile, tu vois, c'est vrai que c'est tout le temps un peu à l'arrache, tu vois. Et puis, bon, voilà, c'est un lien direct. Hein. Bon, allez, il y a Agnès qui revient aussi. Bon, je suis content. Mon ami Dean, qui peut vous raconter plein de choses sur Cupertino, la Californie.
Hello, Dean.
Hello, Dean. Hello.
Hi, how are you? I think we were trying to talk yesterday, but we didn't have a very good internet connection.
Yes, I
Yeah,
hope.
I was born and raised in the Silicon Valley in California, near Apple headquarters, and I've lived there all my life. I'm a retired pharmacist, so I was selling drugs for 30 plus years, and now I'm retired, playing with my computers and doing some photography.
Do you still love Apple II? Even
Yes, I've got an apartment full of old Apple IIs, probably 30 or 35 different machines, from the Apple II on up to the Apple GS.
How many Apple II did you have?
I think I've got 4 Apple IIs, about 6 Apple II Pluses, probably a dozen Apple IIes, and at least 6 2GSs.
Wow. Bravo.
And do they all work?
Come on, tell to my friends. Alors là, j'ai un super témoignage. So how?
Well, it was. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Je parle plus
Ça va.
français.
Merci, bien. Et vous?
Anyway, I bought my first Apple, and I fell in love with it. It's like my first girlfriend. You never forget your first girlfriend. And this is why I'm still 35, 40 years later in love with an Apple. And I have been asked, why did I not go up to the Apple II GS? It's not like my first girlfriend. It's the Apple II will always be forever. I think I'm going to try and be buried with one. Then I will have her forever. Thank you.
Thank you. So everybody loves Apple II at Kansas Festival. Huh? It's rule number 1. You have to love Apple II to be there.
Prêt à être enterré avec un. Yes.
Loz, on t'entend pas.
No, I think I'll leave it to the Apple II community and leave instructions in my will or in my trust to have him give Tony Diaz a call and see if he wants to come up and pick him up and take it to Kansas every the next summer to give away.
Did you already come to KansasFest?
I think I've come 6 or 7 times. I started out in the very early years when it wasn't done by the same organization, and came for a couple of years under the current organization, and then had to miss a few years because I was working and couldn't get the time off from work. And I retired about 2 years ago, so I've been coming the last 3 years.
And is it true there is more people this year than last year?
Yeah, I think this is one of our biggest years in recent past. It's a little bit bigger. We've got probably 15. We've got, I think, about 70 people this year, and a number of them are first-time attendees, which is always good. But there's a lot of old faces too that you've been seeing for years. We've got at least one person that's been to all the KansasFest events over time, and a number of them that have been to many of them. So a lot of returnees, a lot of new faces, and it's amazing what people are doing with the Apple II still.
How do you explain that more people come for the first time, and because there is no news on Apple II? I mean, it's.
Well, I think some of them are people that were using the Apple II back when it was new, and then got away from it, and now are coming back to it, and are at the point in their life where they want to relive their youth.
Yeah.
I think some of our younger people weren't even around when the Apple II was here, and they've found it in what we call a retro mode, where people are interested in doing old things, so they want to learn about this old thing. It's difficult to find computers and parts. A couple days ago, we had a big event here in the room that we're meeting right now, where they gave away probably a couple £1,000 of Apple II, both hardware, software, and manuals, that sort of thing. You can probably, we move the computer around, you can see the leftovers of what people didn't take. But the room was filled to capacity with all sorts of Apple II stuff that people wanted to take home.
And what did you take from this?
Well, actually, I walked around with my hands in my pockets because my apartment already has too much stuff. In fact, the last couple of years, I've been coming to KansasFest with stuff that I want to find a good home for. So I try to give it away. I walk around with my hands in my pockets, so I'm not tempted to pick up anything. I'm successful so far.
And did you attend the dialector session with Luz this morning?
Yes, I did. I was there. Very nice talk. I was sitting on the side. We had one of our members, Sarah, that volunteered to come up and play the game, and she did a real good job of asking questions and getting a response from the game.
And everything went well. It didn't explode. It didn't fail. Luz? Ah, il faut que tu parles, Luz, il faut que tu parles en face du micro, sinon on t'entend pas.
Oui, dis-moi, j'ai pas compris là.
Did everything go well in the conversation? I mean, with the Apple II?
Yes, not. We have one. Say, sorry, because too low game, and when we got the game, in fact, the game,
Luz, tu parles trop sur le côté, on n'entend absolument rien.
C'est vrai que voilà.
Voilà.
Là, tu m'entends. Ouais, faut que je me sois plus en face du micro.
Voilà.
Ouais, sinon on t'entend pas du tout là. Donc redis-nous ce que tu disais.
Oh, j'ai dit plein de choses aujourd'hui. Si j'arrête pas de parler anglais, là, j'ai la tête qui va exploser.
Bah, dis-le en français. Raconte comment s'est passée la session.
I can speak English for 1 or 2 hours. After 2 hours, no, but this morning, was very well. I think.
Accroche-toi, Loz, accroche-toi.
Tourne l'écran vers toi quand tu parles.
Ouais, voilà.
Voilà.
This morning, all well. People were very, c'est ça, laughing a lot about responses for the computer. Ils ont bien rigolé, ils étaient à fond dedans, ils disaient à la fille qu'est-ce qu'il fallait mettre, etc. Non, c'était sympa, ils ont bien accroché.
So who was the candidate? Was it a man, a woman? Who was
C'est Sarah, non? Sarah.
a woman?
Sarah a fait des études d'art. Elle connaissait justement Chris Marker. She knows Chris Marker.
Ah.
You work on Chris Marker at this school. And maybe she said me that we can maybe join somebody in Boston University with interesting about
Bonsoir Antoine.
Bonsoir Antoine, salut.
Bonsoir mesdames, bonsoir messieurs.
Pour nous c'est bonjour, hein. Pour vous c'est bonsoir. Hein.
Oui, bonjour messieurs, pardon, c'est vrai, ouais, la honte.
Dean, what did you think of the lecture? just as a basic program on Apple II. Did you were you surprised or astonished?
For Andre's talk,
For the program.
just the whole thing was great. Just before lunchtime today, we had a session that was supposed to be talking about Apple III emulation, and the speaker had to cancel the event, so we had about an hour in which the time was open, and one of the members suggested a developers roundtable where developers got together and talked over their problems. And I thought that was a very interesting event because they were talking over how do we find instructions on how to use the software and the tools that are in Apple II. We have a gentleman here from archive.org whose business is to save everything they can, and he offered his company's resources to save a lot of the books and other references that we have. A number of the developers that have these references can't share them because they're still copywritten, and they're afraid that the lawyers are going to sue them if they share the books. And by using archive.org, we're hoping that we can let archive.org store everything, make it available to anyone that needs it, and not have to worry about the lawyers attacking them because they are too big and they have money to pay for lawyers.
But nobody from Apple company came to KansasFest?
None this year that I'm aware of. Very early in the history of Apple Fest, and that would be back in the 1980s, it was actually an Apple. Many times Apple was there and sent representatives. It was a developers conference. But no, since then, no official Apple representatives have been present.
But last year, who was the keynote speaker?
Keynote speaker was Margot Comstock, and
this
she
year,
was an editor. She was an editor of a magazine called Soft Talk Magazine, which is a very popular U.S. magazine that was in publication for 4 or 5 years.
Yes,
and
right.
I know for myself, I was always looking forward to the next issue.
Yes, right. I was referring to last year's keynote speaker.
Let's see. Last year was Randy Wigington, who was an early Apple employee. And actually, Steve Wozniak came too last year. He was there.
Yes. And if I'm right, he's still an Apple employee, no?
Steve Wozniak still is an Apple employee. He doesn't spend any time working at Apple, but he's still officially an Apple employee. And Randy Wigington isn't an Apple employee anymore. He works for a company called Square, a company that does retail credit card transactions. And I, personally, I know some early Apple employees. I have a good friend named Peter Baum and his brother Alan. Alan and Steve Wozniak worked together on the early Apple I and the software. If you look at the source code from some of the early source code, Alan Baum's name's in there. And when his dad was alive, his dad and Alan actually loaned Apple Computer Corporation $1,500 to buy some of their first parts. So they took out a loan, gave Apple a loan, and that was enough to get the company started. And his father, who was an electrical engineer, was guaranteed a job for life, and he did have a job working at Apple until he passed away about 10 years ago.
Great.
And Lars, did people ask questions about the lecture after your presentation?
Yes, there was a question about how data works, basic and about software or site and some other questions, but I don't remember exactly what they asked me. how to use random program and the good effect because Director was very.
Il faut que tu orientes l'ordi parce qu'on entend rien.
Director was a very a short program. It's only 1,000 lines, but with 1,000 lines and 300 sentences, have done a program like in artificial intelligence, but it's not. It's just a random program.
Yes, I wanted to make that reference to artificial intelligence. It is the first multimedia thing which is similar to ELISA.
That's right. We brought that up at the meeting.
This is what he has brought with his skills and the artist view, and this is what is great.
Yeah, I think a couple people in the audience were familiar with Chris. I was not. I'm not an artist type person, so I wasn't familiar with him. But I enjoyed some of the stuff that Andre had shown us, and the program did look interesting. And with Sarah, the KansasFest member that was demonstrating it or showing how it worked, did a great job, and got some nice, funny responses from the computer's answers.
But I show also short videos about the peer, de la jetée, and about Zapping Zone, and about un dialogue dans 2000 ans d'Odyssée de l'espace, le dialogue avec HAL, avec le programme. Donc j'avais montré aussi des vidéos pour créer, to show the context, the historical context of Dialector. Donc tu vois, c'était pas c'était plus amusant, quoi, tu vois. Il y avait, et puis après j'ai un peu parlé du code, et puis après on a lancé Dialector, on a fait tout ça.
But we don't understand when you speak French, you know.
What?
Oui. on a enfin.
We don't understand when you speak French.
Yes, I'm sorry. The French is now are biased than my English.
Well, for myself, I can't complain. I'm a typical American. I only speak English, and I don't speak that very well.
Yes, but everybody should speak English, though, so you don't have to so much to learn foreign languages as we have to. But French people are not very good in English.
Well, I speak a little bit of Spanish because of where I live. In California, where I live, there's a lot of Mexicans that live there. So I grew up in that culture, but I don't speak much Spanish because I don't have much of a need for it, and don't speak any other languages at all. No German. My family is of German extraction. 2 generations back, we're in Germany, but I don't speak any German, no French, no other languages at all.
Alors, par contre, les amis, je suis un peu désolé parce que là, j'ai un autre problème aujourd'hui. C'est que ma batterie commence à être vraiment à plat. Là, elle va bientôt couper. Parce que comme j'ai utilisé l'ordinateur ce matin pour la conférence, bah, du coup, là, j'ai vraiment plus rien. Là, j'ai 5 minutes. Alors, ça se peut que ça coupe à un moment ou à un autre.
D'accord.
Ok, donc ça va peut-être couper là dans les prochaines minutes.
Donc en fait, c'est le dernier jour que ça va être parfait, quoi, c'est ça?
Peut-être, ouais. Le dernier jour, ouais, demain, je vais essayer. Mais bon, c'est toujours comme ça. On essaie de tout le temps, je peux, tu vois.
Ok.
Encore une dernière question, à mon avis.
Oui, I'd like to know what you are doing with your own computers. Are you still using them, or is it in just a
Well, to tell you the truth, most of them are in storage. I don't use them very much. I have an Apple IIc Plus that is readily available that I can take out of storage and set up. We just lost it.
And tu
Passe la fin.
Ouais, j'ai l'impression qu'on a été coupé sauvagement une fois de plus. No, you're still there?
Yeah, I think so. Let me finish. I have an Apple IIc that I take out and use every once in a while, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. But the Apple IIgs machines are all in storage, and I don't get them out at all. The Apple IIc I usually use to run AppleWorks, which is and I use the database module in that to access some old database records. And the old Apple II Plus and Apple IIs are definitely in storage. They never get taken out. And on a day-to-day basis, I use Macintosh, but I don't run Apple II software and emulation. That's something I will probably do in the near future, is at least put an emulator on my Macintosh.
If you want to go to your storage area, please have a look at your serial numbers of your Apple II GSs.
Actually, I did post the serial numbers for the machines that I have. I put them on the Facebook Apple II enthusiasts page.
Thank you so much.
I think you would acknowledge that you received those. I think I posted 4 different numbers.
Sure. I'm sure I have them. Thanks for that.
Okay, you're welcome.
And what you do with the...
And why did
what you do with the serial numbers?
You know, we are trying to determine the number of Apple II GSs produced over the years from 1986 to 1993, and we have kindly asked people from Apple Computer, and the answer was, I'm not authorized to give you any information. Okay, so we have found a way to determine the number of units produced per week based on the serial number, the way it is calculated or displayed. And with Olivier Zardini, we have asked all Apple II enthusiasts all over the world to provide us with the serial numbers just to determine the number of units produced. And with that, we are now just above 2 million machines produced, and which is the first, let's say, accurate number of machines ever sold or made. I don't say sold, but at least made by Apple Computer.
Okay.
it's a huge amount, 2 million.
Yes, I think we will go to 2 million and 500, but 500,000. Sorry, but this is pure speculation.
Yes, because you don't have all the serial numbers of the Apple IIgs that have been destructed.
Right, that's it. You're right, and we don't know if on some weeks the plants where the factories were closed. We don't know.
Or we have someone.
That is better than nothing.
We don't. So I have one more question to Dean, please. I would like to know why you came to Kansas Festival so often, and why you love so much being there.
Well, I'm just a computer user. I'm not trained as a computer programmer, and although I did do some very early programming in BASIC just after I bought my computer, but I enjoy coming because I enjoy being with other Apple II users, and a lot of the Apple II users here are electronics engineers or professional software programmers, and they're always bringing out new pieces of hardware that I find that are amazing, and they're writing new pieces of software that I find that are amazing, and they're things that I just couldn't have dreamed of 30 years ago. One of my favorites is the CFFA card, which is a card that you can put in a slot in your computer and connect a compact flash, or I think a USB stick, and use it for storage. So you can take all those floppies and all, the 5 1/4 inch floppies and 3 1/2 inch floppies that are now starting to go bad because they're of age, and put an image of them on a single little memory card or memory stick, and have your whole library on one little card. Right. and it's a good time. It's actually fairly inexpensive. The airfare was fairly inexpensive, and staying in the dorms is inexpensive compared to any other conference that I've gone to. It's less than $400 to stay in the hall with meals. Now the meals are not the best of quality. It's less than it has been in the past because they're fixing up their kitchens. But I'm already too big anyway, and I eat too much anyway, so it's really no big loss if the food isn't very good. But it's fun to be in the dorms with other Apple II users 24 hours a day. Most of us don't get a full night's sleep. I was up till past 1 o'clock this morning, watching people build computer parts, and was up this morning at 6:30. I must admit, I was the only one in the bathroom. It's a dorm-style bathroom where probably 40 men are in the same bathroom, and I was there all by myself because everyone was still sleeping in. And I'll probably end up napping this afternoon because I didn't get a full night's sleep.
This night, me too. I sleep only 4 or 5 hours. 4 or 5. Bon. Oui, il y a du bruit, mais jusqu'à 4 heures du matin, donc 3 heures, 4 heures du matin. Donc j'ai pas vraiment très bien dormi là.
Because you are young hackers. And you know, what has just been said regarding the CFFA card is very interesting in terms of preservation of what was done by Chris Marker. Because you know, when you don't lose the units of Chris Marker in England, you also have to think about what Agnès has said regarding floppies and the way to store them. And with the modern CFFA card, this is the best way to remove the floppy drives and ensure 2 copies very rapidly and securely with either a CFFA card, compact flash card, or a USB key and a USB stick. And this is a way for items or software like Dialector to be saved on 2 modern media and easy to use inside an Apple II computer.
But
it's done. I've done the transfer of the Dialector on a CFFA card.
Yes, but we have many more to analyze, you know, Lars. We have a huge amount of floppy disk coming from Chris Marker to save. So
good.
Yes, with the Cinematheque, we are going to work with the French Cinematheque to help them with this preservation issue. So it's very interesting.
And for that,
I'll have to get you in touch with archive.org, one of the other speakers here.
Par contre, là, il y avait un gars qui bosse pour archive.org.
On t'entend pas là.
Alors, il y a un gars qui est venu juste après moi, là, qui est intervenu, et qui est un gars qui représente archive.org.
Jason Scott, I suppose.
Voilà, c'est ça, voilà.
Jason Scott is Mr. Archivist in USA, and he has thousands of floppies, and he also uses I'm Fed Up, so that I have 2 customers of I'm Fed Up. But that's good. He is dedicated to by worship old floppies and old material, and he tries to save as much as possible, and this is as many things as possible, and this is very great. And he's well known in the USA for that.
Thus, you have to take his number, phone number, and email, because it's someone we have to talk to. You know.
What?
She wants his phone number. We'll send him his phone number and email address.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's the archive.org is also the Wayback Machine is also archiving the web, so it's a huge, non-profit association. It's really a good one.
That's
so
right.
If they are interested in archive, in Apple II archive, I think we have things to talk to them. Yeah, I don't know. There is someone but coming, but we don't see who it is. Jorma, do you know Jorma?
Jorma, can you speak?
This is night in Northern Europe. Okay.
Jorma lives in Helsinki.
Ah.
So it's night.
Yes. No sun after 2 p.m.
Yes. But there is still internet. That's fine.
Yes, right, and even eBay. Yes, if you have plenty of floppies of press marker to store not to rescue, because I'm sure that in 200 years we'll still be able to read Apple II floppies, but probably not any modern USB stick or whatever. Call me. I can help on that matter.
We will.
Sure, great.
Be sure. Agnès, Agnès, t'arrives à suivre? Because Agnès, she's not so fluent in English as we all are.
Agnès post to the KansasFest Facebook and communique with Jorma and the others. Et je comprends rien, mais c'est pas grave, j'envoie des posts. Ah, Jorma!
There is light in Northern Europe.
Yes.
Jorma.
Jorma is wearing Google glasses, probably.
But we don't. We have lost connection with.
Yes.
With this Kansas festival. Hi, Jorma.
Jorma, can you speak?
Jorma is a still picture.
Mais s'il parle pas, on le verra pas.
Jorma, yeah, sure. Jorma is also a member of the Apple II community and one of the recent people in this world, and is also a great purchaser of plenty of items that you can find on eBay and other auction sites. And Jorma speaks English probably better than us.
Yes, but we don't hear. We didn't see your face, and then we see your face, but we don't hear your voice.
So I will stop talking. Let Jorma introduce himself.
So just to let you understand what's going on, Loz and Dean in Kansas Festival, they don't have any power in the computer, because Loz did his presentation this morning, and I think he's out of energy. Not him, but his computer.
No more gasoline.
Voilà. Le sans fil, voilà, les sans fil, le Wi-Fi, on a tout expérimenté là. Yesterday it didn't work because the Wi-Fi wasn't functioning well at Kansas Festival, and today it's not working because his computer is dead. So.
Oh, did you read the Apple II enthusiast page today? Because one guy asked, "Oh, do you record or stream the conference?" And somebody answered, "No, we will try one day." But at that time, nobody is streaming the conference, which is stupid, because with Loz we could have offered that service.
Mm-hmm. It's on Apple II enthusiast, you say?
Yes, if I'm correct, this is on the Apple II enthusiast page. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not yet so much involved in Apple II, so I didn't know this one. Okay, you stream, yes. Right now, live Kansas Festival stream on the 3D printing session right now, they say. So they are doing a stream 23 minutes ago.
Yes?
Yes.
Some people try to do that. That's great. We
are not the only one. That's good.
Yeah, we have to think about royalties.
It's here.
Oh, Joma, great. Joma is hearing us, is laughing at us, but is not talking. Do you have a microphone, Joma? You know that there is a chat on the Hangout, so please you can use it.
No, I think
he's doing that sort of thing that I have.
Right.
And no, oh jeez, what's happening here? Okay.
So
the 123 design does not like to be full screen. But anyhow, so you've got.
We are on Ustream TV channel. There is a live stream, I think. It's not so. I don't know.
Were we hearing Joma or what was it, the Ustream TV channel?
I think we will see tomorrow. Hein, Agnès, je pense qu'on se donne rendez-vous demain.